Over the weekend, President Biden stepped down from running for a second term. Or, as I might accurately more put it, he was pushed out. It was one of those resignation firings. You resign because you're really being fired just to save face. And I don't like it. I didn't mind that the conversation was around him not serving a second term, but I felt the timing needed to be several months ago, before the primary. If this was a concern because he's been old for a long time, then that conversation needed to be had before the primary. And those serious considerations should have be made before then. All of the questioning or talks with him should have happened before, and I'm not sure if they did or didn't. But, to do it this late in the process was a little concerning to me. The second part of that is the concern that there wasn't a plan B that was stated. Many people were really reticent to come out with full support for Vice President Harris. And if that's not your choice, then you're setting up for chaos in the convention. Because the base of the party is black women, and secondly, black men like myself, and you're gonna cause a rupture to try to overstep the vice president. So, this is a quickly moving situation. The sands are shifting by the second. Probably by the time this is out, things may have been settled. I'm already hearing this early Monday morning that there's some coalescence happening with the vice president, and I think that needs to happen quickly. That needs to happen probably by Tuesday, Wednesday, the latest, so that we can all get into the singular step of getting into campaign mode and organizing and unifying the party. Now, I support Vice President Kamala Harris, and she used to be my senator here in California. I've seen her do amazing Senate hearings. A couple that come to mind are Bill Barr and Attorney General Bill Barr and the Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh. She asked them questions that basically stopped them in their tracks. I'm sure you've probably seen them. They're all over YouTube and stuff. So, also, she's been Attorney General. She's been Senator, and she is the Vice President. So I'm behind her running for president. There are a lot out there that don't like her. I haven't really heard a cogent reason for it. Silly things like her laugh and things like that don't make sense. But from a strategic point of view, strategery, as former President George W. Bush used to say, we have a lot of time. We got to get this organized as soon as possible. So I think it would behoove Democrats to come out behind Vice President Kamala Harris, find the best VP. I like Buttigieg. I think that would be a solid choice if he wanted to accept that. But do it quickly. And then I think VP Harris has to come out with a nice 5-minute segment or something to just speak directly to the American people. Put it on a big ad just to reintroduce herself as a presidential candidate and assure the American public that they are in good hands. Not just the base, not just the independents, but all of America. I know she can do that. I think that needs to happen at least by Friday. A message directly from her showing her vision and what she's going to do for the country, how she's going to bring us all together, and then take off. This plane is late. It has to get off the runway. Donations, you know, that has to organize. Everything has to be organized, but we have to do it quickly. And I think finally, I'll say this, even if you don't like Vice President Kamala Harris as a candidate or as a person for some reason, I think the biggest thing is to vote for the office. I think the mistake in 2016 was getting personal. Some people didn't like Hillary, her emails, and all that nonsense. But think of it as voting for the office. You're voting for the executive branch and what the executive branch can do. The executive branch appoints federal judges. They appoint Supreme Court justices. And we've already seen the damage of that in the last administration. Roe v. Wade was overturned because Hillary Clinton wasn't elected. We have lots of federal judges. One who just threw out a case, the documents case in Florida, because Trump appointed her. So that's just a small sample size in what the president can do. So whatever you may think of her personally, you're voting for the office. You're voting to restore women's rights. You're voting to restore health care, to solidify Social Security, all the issues, many of the issues that we can care about, to have a real Supreme Court that's an independent organization or independent branch of government, rather than really, a MAGA court, which it is becoming. Those are the major things that I think the voters should think about going into this November. So those are my brief thoughts, and I just want to put those out there. And as I said, the target is moving pretty quickly. So I'm sure by the time this gets out, 10 things may have changed. But just want to throw my 2 cents in.